communication dynamics in the new normal. I'm Kumar Subramanian, Global Program Manager for ABB Motion. ABB is a leading global technology company that energizes the transformation of industry and society to achieve a more productive and sustainable future. In ABB Motion, we manufacture electrical drives, electrical motors, pumps, and generators, and I belong to the digital part of ABB. COVID-19 has created a shift in our corporate landscape. It has triggered uncertainty, elevated the strain and anxiety level, and prompted a blurred vision during which people are unsure of the future. During such a crisis, when information is unavailable or inconsistent, and when people feel unsure what they know, there is an increased human desire for transparency, guidance, and making sense out of what went on. In such cases, it's the organization's responsibility to provide clarity, build resilience, and catalyze positive change. To ask ourselves, what can we do during these times to assist our employees? According to a recent McKinsey article, there are 5 ways we can ensure harmony among our employees. The number one, give people what they need when they need it. The information must evolve during a crisis. Correct and sufficient information can help listeners to stay safe, cope mentally, and attach with a deeper sense of purpose and stability. Communicate clearly, simply, as well as frequently. A crisis limits people's capacity to soak up information. Specialize in keeping your communication as clear as possible. Ensure listeners can know it. Then repeat, repeat, and repeat. Third, choose candor over charisma. Trust isn't it more important than during a crisis. Be honest about the situation, where things stand, and maintain transparency to form loyalty and then lead more efficiently. Fourth, revitalize resilience. As the health crisis metastasizes into a depression, accentuate the positive and strengthen the communal bonds to revive the confidence. Distill meaning from chaos. The crisis will end, definitely. Establish a transparent vision for some way the organization and its people will emerge. Okay, how you can do it? So I would like to touch upon 3 main aspects how we can make it happen. The very first thing is response governance, then the business continuity, and then the network management. Okay, let us start with the response governance. So which is the foremost step in my aspect. So we need to create and deploy a response room infrastructure and leadership to have a strong a cross-functional rapid response team to deal with emerging challenges. We have to ensure the rapid response team which focus on the communications, on surge in demand for data, network optimization, customer queries and compliance, as well as the workforce management. Then let's move on to the business continuity. It is imperative we assess and address the potential supply chain and the network disruption and validate the business continuity plans with the internal as well as the external partners. Let us manage the employee stress and mental health with the positive actions by creating an thorough employee engagement plan think a long term and prepare a return to normal plan as efficiently as feasible and enable the remote working as well. We need to explore the options to address the continuity of essential services. Last but not the least, assess the financial implications and identify the interventions to improve the cash flow. Coming to third in line, but a crucial step to keep the show running, which is network management. The most important step is to identify and prioritize the mission critical network needs, such as healthcare. Set up a cross functional team for short term optimization efforts and public data lake and collection engines to aggregate network key performance indicators, leveraging the machine learning platforms. Engage with suppliers, partners, and even government organizations to ensure the service continuity. Let us take acceleration measures for the network visualization. Act now and prepare for the next. Okay, now you may want to know what are some of work from home best practices that you can adapt. So I'm talking from a management perspective, what I would like to see from my teammates. I have addressed a few main points here, how you can improve your work from home practices. The first and foremost, practice a good meeting etiquette. Then you clearly define the responsibilities, yourself and for your team. Third, build accountability within your team. Fourth, prioritize documentation for clear communication. In this world, when everything is happening through videos and chat, better it's to document clearly. Then connect frequently with your team since you're not in the same lobby or same cubicles. So you have to connect with your team so that they understand the importance of the communication. Always make yourself visible at work during the work time. Create boundary between the work and the personal life, meaning that mark clearly in your calendar what's your working time and what is not. Experiment with whatever works for you. It's a new challenging time for us, so we have to experiment. And of course, it's good once the experiment is successful. You need to also share that. Definitely, you have to remember on your health. As you know, working from home, sitting in the same place, not getting up for tea or coffee, and focusing mainly on the work, it's not good. You have to keep focus on your health. Not but not the least, you have to also schedule time for socializing with your friends, even though it's a lockdown period in some part of this country. It's better to socialize with the friends either with the chat or with the video conference. Okay, let's get deep dive into the main points. The first point is to have a good meeting etiquette. So in person, it's easy to see if someone is preoccupied during a meeting. When call happens remotely, it's much more difficult to see the telltale signs of the disinterest. That's one reason why having camera on for all remote calls will help keep you and everyone else on the call alert and engaged, ensuring the meeting is as effective as it would be in person. That's the number one key to having good remote meeting. just simply turn on your camera. This might be a strain on data in a country like India, where the internet bandwidth may be a big concern. Perhaps it is better to follow and believe you are on camera, even though if you are not. So behave as if you are on camera. Then clear responsibilities. So when working with remote team members, communication can be challenging and things can get lost in translation. You can't avoid it. That happens. It's important to be crystal clear about responsibilities. Start by defining responsibilities on a project. Then write down who is responsible for what and share this information with the team. Getting it documented means less confusion and really avoiding the time waste. So how we have mitigated this in our team? As you know, I'm running a program and the program consists of a lot of projects. So we have our first level management team and we have defined clearly what are the roles of my management team, who is responsible for what. And we documented it. We have also displayed that image in our wiki. So everybody is clear who is responsible on what. The second one is accountability in the remote teams. It's easy to be distracted while working remotely. Believe me, it is like that, which makes being accountable a challenge. So using time trackers, reminders, even time boxing each task might help. You can help build accountability in your team by sharing what you're planning to do and executing on the plan. And of course, this is overlapping with any execution program what you're following. Like in our team, we strictly follow the essential suffix, which almost clearly says what is your responsibility, what is the team responsibility, what they have to deliver in what timeline. But apart from that, there are things where you could use this kind of uh, concepts like time trackers, reminders to ensure that that is accountable. Then the remote communication. So the communication dynamics differs when you are remote versus when you are in the office. Suddenly, since February or March of this year, all communication is all over chat, email, and video. So we didn't have any face-to-face anymore. We are conducting our program increment planning even remotely, completely. So make sure you document, make notes more than you would do normally. So if you feel the need, try collaborating using visual whiteboards. This will help you collaborate visually in real time. So within our team, we are extensively using the Microsoft Whiteboard. Our teams are located in India, in Finland, in Germany. So this tool really helps us to collaborate nicely. And also it is important to communicate how you're feeling. While working remotely, it is difficult to spot when something is off. So that's the reason why it is essential to speak up. So I know in India there is this culture of not speaking up in front of the clients. So we have to really avoid this kind of situations. You have to speak up. Otherwise, the other end don't understand what is the mindset and what you are going through. So remote team members. So getting to know your teammates beyond just work will help you feel connected. to be more productive, and also to feel happier at work. It really helps if you connect with your teammates beyond just work. Maybe you can invite for a virtual coffee break, um, something which works out. You have to try and you have to work, and but the communication has to flow, and you have to keep in touch with your teammates. Even if you mostly work alone, feeling connected to the team will definitely help you to enjoy the work. Spend at least a few minutes catching up on how everyone is doing in starting of a meeting. Just talk casually, talk about weather, talk about the latest news. Visible as a remote worker. A simple but highly effective way to stay visible is to let people know what you are working on. It is very important to be highly responsive. If someone asks you a question, whether it's over a chat, email, whatever it is, or even a comment in a document tool, as you know, we extensively use DevOps, and we also use Teams, and we use Teams channels for our communication. So such kind of tools, when you get a question, try to answer as fast as possible so that they can understand that, yeah, you are working, you are available. Try and get feedback on the work you are doing. This can be tougher to come by for remote workers. Hence, you have to explicitly ask for it. For example, ask for feedback yearly and often. Personal life and remote life. Yeah, boundaries between work and personal life get blurred in this world of work from home. Unplugging is very, very important. Clearly create boundaries by having a special workspace that you can physically work from. Use physical cues to help your mind realize that work is done for the day. Like removing your work hat or donning some fuzzy slippers. Anything to trick your mind into separating work and personal life. Just go ahead and do it. Experiment what works for you. While working from home, people tend to work more hours with fewer breaks from the same place for the whole day. So permit yourself to try different start times, work from different places, and wear different types of clothes. Experiment with different break times, different ways to track your work, and learn what works for you. And of course, do share that information with your colleagues, with your teammates. Health while remote working. It's very important. Health is the foremost thing. So a routine can help you get into groove of healthy activities. Once you do something a few times, you gain momentum to keep doing it. For example, taking time to do yoga, go for a walk with your pet if you have one during your work time for for half an hour. It's fine. It's for 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. It's good. It's fine. Joining an activity on Teams for just for fun talk, or reading some article in the web, technical, non-technical, whatever it is. Ensure your unwind. Stay hydrated and make sure you frequently get up and move around. That's very important. Practice healthy eating habits, of course, if you can. Social time as a remote work. It's very, very important. So when you work remotely, you miss out on the built-in social benefits of an office. Clearly, I miss a lot. So create a social agenda to connect with friends and families. Recreate your typical day in the office by connecting with other remote workers on video. Maybe have coffee chat, have a virtual coffee, or you have your coffee in your end and your colleague on the other end. Whatever activities you choose, whether it's time with friends, meetups, or a coffee with people from your team, mark them on your calendar and ensure you do them on video. Okay, speaking about work from home readiness, there are 5 key points what I would like to discuss about, which we should take into consideration to ensure we are ready for work from home. Infrastructure readiness, collaboration tools, 24 by 7 support, tracking and governance, and virtual engagement activities. Let's talk in details about each of these points. Infrastructure readiness. So coming to infrastructure readiness, we need to set up remote systems for all employees where we update the security systems and the corporate VPNs while also outlining IT information security guidelines with all employees. This is very important. Ensure everyone has a very good internet connectivity, and in case if you want to issue a temporary internet dongles, please do so. Have accessories like noise cancelling headphones, high resolution monitors, keyboards, and any other hardware to function smoothly from home. How we have done this? So in ABB, we have in ABB Finland, we have given all our employees a noise cancelling headphones so that they can have a smooth meeting in a noisy environment. We have also asked our team members to come and collect their high resolution monitors in the office as well as keyboards and mouse. Even we have asked them to get go and grab their chairs if they need. Of course, this is on a temporary basis. They can take it to their home. They can work from home using this equipment, and when things gets back normal, they have to take this back to their office. We have loaned them. Then the collaboration tool. So onboard all employees into communication platform where they can connect on one-to-one basis and also to the larger teams, either through chat, phone, or video conferencing tools, while also using it to remotely monitor their workforce. We have used extensively Microsoft Teams and the channels inside the Teams for the communication, group communication. And also set up soft phones to your employees who are into the this 24 by 7 service support team if they need. Our vendors use quite a lot the work chat by Facebook, and I got to know that it's very effective to have a team communications. Then the 24/7 support. It is good to have a good ticketing system in place to avoid a mountain of requests that come in during this work from home and systematically address all the issues. Have other mediums like the chat and call support as a backup for emergency requests. We also need to have an emergency task force support to deliver IT infrastructure to any employee in need. Virtual engagement activities. Keeping employees engaged during a time like this and virtually can be challenging. We can, however, plan initiatives to promote high sense of togetherness, activities which are easy and fun to participate in. With the flexibility to participate in their convenience, employees are bound to come out of their shell eventually to engage with each other. Last but not the least, tracking and governance. To ensure work from home does not impact productivity and quality of deliverables, we need to closely monitor and report productivity, where we measure the say-do ratio through daily reporting and timely communications with the stakeholders. We must also focus on asset management, security control, process compliances, whatever, and so that we can proactively address the issues. So getting into detail, ensure that the work from home does not impact productivity and the quality of deliverables. It should be on par on or better in the normal times. So we closely monitor and report productivity across certain parameters like team velocity, story points. So for an example, how we have mitigated this. When it was normal time, we used to have the signage boards, TVs for each project, which displays the project progress, like the team velocity, story points, backlogs for that program increment, number of active tickets, number of active bugs, all these things. Now we don't have a chance to go to the same place to see the same monitor. So what we have come up is we have chosen some SaaS services for signage board, which can take the same content and publish in the internet, of course, a secure internet page, where we can display the same content in our Teams channel. So we don't need to invest anymore on a big TV when you're working from home to see that content. Rather, you can use your own computer, your own monitor to see this board, since it's part of the Teams channel. Then the daily report. Daily report can include the following, for example, the capacity utilization, challenges, best practices. As you know, any given program have these daily meetings, daily stand-ups where you can discuss. But apart from that, if you want to report your dailies, you could also conduct a parallel meetings. Timely communications to all stakeholders, that's very important. Because in this world of work from home, the stakeholders and the partners are a bit concerned how it is happening. Are we delivering right thing in the right time? It's challenging. So how we have mitigated? As you know, any given program, survey, has a periodic check how you communicate with the stakeholders. But apart from that, we have also increased the frequency of our communication with the stakeholders so that we report our progress more often now so that they know really what we are doing, how the team is performing, and what they can expect in what timeline. Geographically wise, weekly meeting is very important. As I mentioned, we have our teams located in different time zones. So we have to make sure the time suits best for both the teams. This could be really challenging if one of your team is in India and other team is in US. Yes, the time difference is big, but we are a bit fortunate on that. The time difference between Europe and India is not that bad. Asset management and security controlled by IT teams, along with the process compliances. Yes, we must also focus on the asset management, security control, and process compliances so we can proactively address the issues. That's all, folks. I hope my presentation helps you a lot in this world of work from home. Thanks a lot and have a great day ahead.